Unfortunately, I don't have content up for you guys yet. So at least I'm doing a live stream, get a video out for you guys, and let you know what's been going on fishing wise in my life right now. Probably, I'm sure, while my girlfriend makes fun of me from the couch because she likes to do that. See if we can get some streamers in here. Hopefully, dingling and some bells. Kind of just want to go over a couple things with you guys. What people are using for like fall into winter transition baits. What's working in their areas, and kind of just I'm gonna go over what's been working for me and what I've been trying. So let's see here. Over the weekend, I was gonna get some content out for you guys, but unfortunately, dworshack wasn't much of a. I told you guys. Knew she was gonna do it. Anyways, yeah, it wasn't. If we would have had more time on the water, we would have done great. It was definitely a feeding frenzy type of day, and we caught some fish, but most of them were dinks. It was very slow going, and I kind of just honestly had to dead stick it. I was barely moving baits around anything, pretty much just laying on the bottom so they could find it, they would grab it, and they would eat it. But it was a slow game, that's for sure. But for the most part, what's been working the greatest right now is those super fry worms from KVD. They have that open pore technology that lets them just flake out the salt, and they seem to work pretty dang good. And that's for the most part what I've been running. I've been Ned head rigging these. If you guys can see them, maybe. See if I can get kind of some of the light to go away. But yeah, they're basically just a ribbed design with a flat back on them. And been Ned rigging them, but unfortunately today, fishing here in the valley, I lost my last Ned head, and super bummed about that. It was like a weedless one, but I've actually found a way for you guys. If you guys don't have much like tackle shops in your valley, Walmart sells a jig head. I want to say they're only like $1 or maybe a little over $1, but they sell a jig head that comes with a Ned head and a wire weedless like guard, and that those things work great actually. I haven't bent a hook out on one, and I've caught quite a few fish on them. I haven't really hooked into a really decent sized fish with one yet, though, so I'm not totally sure about that. But I've caught a couple 2-pounders, a little over 2-pounders with them, and they seem to do absolutely amazing. But they work just like a Ned rig because they got the mushroom shape to them. They're not very heavy, but it seems like running these super fry worms, they add the weight to it, and you can zing it out there pretty easily. Let it drift down, hit the bottom, and then just kind of bounce it off the bottom, just like you would a Ned rig. But haven't been moving it very much at all to get that bite. They've just, I've definitely noticed it slowing down, and some days the bite's on, some days it's just nothing. It's just dead. Today was definitely a dead day. I tried quite a bit, throwing at them, and just couldn't get a fish to bite. I had like one bite, I think, all day, and it was of course missed. But anyways, I was trying to get content out for you guys of the dworshack trip, and for the most part, I just took a lot of video on my vlogging camera. Wasn't a great day, so I never even strapped the GoPro on. We only ended up catching 4 fish total, so it was what it is. But it was awesome. It was a beautiful day, and it was awesome to get on the water. It was just fish were not biting. But anyways, on to kind of some of the baits I've been throwing, and what's been working for the most part has been those super fry worms. But I also found another, I guess you would say, another bait that I've been throwing. It's pretty dang close to the super fry worms. It's this Hag's tornado worms, and this is in a baby bass color, so uh, kind of a green pumpkin with white on one side, like a shimmer, I guess you would say. I want to say they call that like a sight flash color. But anyways, that was working really great for the spawn this last year, and so that's why I ended up getting it in that baby bass color. And I have still quite a few of those guys left, so I'm probably going to be using those again this next spawn because I'm sure they're going to be wanting about the same thing or something pretty close, and they look pretty juicy, so they should be pretty good. Other than that, drop shotting, I've been throwing these little half shells. I picked up 2 bags, one in the Pro Blue Neon and then a Prism Shad. And I haven't been throwing them a whole lot, but should be here soon, and probably hooking up on some fish on those. And another one I just picked up was something pretty new, but it's this little Ocho worm from KVD, and I got this in a pretty funny color. It's called the Sweet Tater Pie. It's kind of what I would call like an urban camo look to it. It's got like orange, a little bit of yellow, and some black and red in it, and a little bit of yellow. Or I said yellow already, kind of. But one thing I really like is all these KVD plastics come with coffee scent and salt infused in them, and the bass love coffee, let me tell you. Other than that, I've been throwing the usual from Reaction Innovations, the Smalley Beavers in the 3.50s, and they work great for both smallmouth and largemouth bass. So I've definitely been digging those. I've been throwing those pretty much all year and catching fish on them, so definitely a good bait. I big time recommend picking yourself up some of those. Also, another one that I used a lot this year was, I don't have any with me right now, but it was from Riot Baits, and it was called, let's see, a Little Fuzzy is what it was called, in a 3.50. And they were amazing. They had so much action to them, and they had little, kind of little arms off the side, so just great, gave it, a great, great action in the water, and seemed to be loved. I actually caught my PB largemouth that I still haven't got the video made. And just so you guys know, so everybody at home that's watching was wondering, I don't have Wi-Fi here yet. That's why I haven't got another video uploaded. But at least I can do some live streams with you guys and let you know why I don't have that content up for you guys yet. But I do have it saved. It's on the laptop, so that's all good. But yeah, I have so many videos on the laptop. I need to get them uploaded. Just haven't had internet to upload them. So anyways, guys, main baits I've been throwing, also been rigging these little robo worms. Been looking at possibly getting some of those EWG Ned rigs. They look pretty good. Like they'd be a lot better hookup ratio on them. So might be getting some of those. Other than that, I've been just running those Hayabusa jigs. I've lost quite a bit. Just it's really rocky around my area, and I'm getting snagged up in rocks. So that sucks. But they work great. That's for sure. Not so great, I guess, for getting snagged up though. I've snagged up quite a few of them, but maybe it's just my luck. I don't know. I think other than that, let's see here. For the most part, that's what I've been throwing. A lot of missile baits, those D-bombs. I really want to try a bunch of their baby D-bombs and see how well those are. Just for the smallmouth we have around here, that's 90% of what I fish. And I love fishing for them, don't get me wrong. But it just seems like, I don't know, I need a little bit like smaller presentation baits. What's going on, Hidden Fishing? Glad you could finally join in. I've been live streaming for a little bit now, but just kind of going over my weekend. Didn't end up catching much bass at Dworshack, unfortunately. Only ended the day with 4 bass total. just a little smallmouth. But right off the bat, we got into a school of fish, and I caught two, but it just wasn't. I ended up strapping the GoPro on because I wasn't feeling it, and didn't do a whole lot of fishing. We had actually went up there to look for a rod that we had lost, and I'm still hoping we find it later this year. But we're gonna see. Um, my my buddy had ended up buying a rod and leaving the plastic on the grip. For anybody out there, if you get a rod that has a cork handle, take the plastic off right off the bat, because once that plastic gets wet, it is so slick in your hand. And he ended up actually casting it and just totally slipped out of his hand and threw it in the water, and we couldn't get to it quick enough to retrieve it. But the way this reservoir works, obviously that's a reservoir, so the water's always fluctuating up and down. And about dead winter, really really cold up there, the water is as low as it can possibly get. And the shelf that this rod is sitting on would be about 50 feet down, which probably not going to get all the way that far down, but we're going to see if it's sitting on any of the rocks below. Because it kind of shelves off a couple, on just a couple feet. There's like a 9-foot shelf, and then it drops off further into like a 30-foot shelf, and then, so we might get close to that 30-foot shelf and maybe see if it's sitting on it or not. But most likely it's gotten washed down the reservoir pretty far, because that water's obviously moving, and sometimes pretty quick. So who knows? But we spent some time just dinking around doing that, and looking around for elk and things like that. So it was a good trip overall, but didn't catch much fish. So that was kind of cruddy. And then today I went out, tried to fish, and it was like somebody had just turned off the fish, the bite. So it didn't end up getting into anything. But other than that, I've been throwing this super fry worm like crazy, and it's been working great. So I definitely recommend that one if you haven't checked them out. KVD. It's KVD OPT Super Fry is what they're called. And I've just been throwing the green pumpkin, trying to match water clarity, and it seems to be working pretty well. But other than that, it's been slow. It's been stupid slow. I've been trying to, and don't have Wi-Fi, don't have any internet right now, so I haven't been able to do that. But I do have some videos in the works, that's for dang sure. We'll be getting to those, I guess you could say. If you guys have any questions or comments, whatnot, leave them down below. I would like to hear from you guys and see what kind of baits you guys are throwing right now. So let me know what's working for you if you've been catching fish, because I want to hear from it, that's for sure. Also, I just got a new, blade bait. I don't know where I threw that guy, but I just got a new blade bait from Johnson's that was pretty sick, and I definitely want to try it out here soon. We'll see. It's pretty bad. Well, of course, I had to shuffle its way underneath all my jerk baits. Probably not going to be able to get it out. Easily, at least. Can't believe it did that. Oh yeah, it's a little guy, kind of hard to see. Let's get very light maybe. But yeah, it's a fire tiger color, pretty bright. I got that in a 1/2 ounce, so I could get it pretty deep. When you're using those, I feel like you want to kind of fish them deep. But yeah, other than that, for the most part, I've been having to fish deep, so I've been fishing jigs and pretty much just jigs and drop shots lately. Let's see, other than that, I'm trying to think of anything else. I've been throwing a little bit of swim baits, but just like paddle tail, Kitex, haven't came up with any fish that way. Only thing I haven't really tried is, I guess, crankbaits. I really haven't thrown a whole lot of crankbaits lately, but yeah, not sure. Also, I want to know from you guys if anybody's been throwing spy baits and how you like those. I've yet to throw a spy bait. I kind of want to be buying one, but I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure how they work, or yeah, are they a top water bait? I think they're a top water bait. I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyways, let me know in the comments below. I kind of tried to been looking at buying one, but I haven't looked into it too crazy. Um, Other than that, I think what are we waiting on? What are we waiting on? I don't know what a spy bait is. Is there another name for that? It's kind of like a jerk bait, but it has like spinners on the front and the back of it, and it pretty much an impression. It looks like a jerk bait, but not really. Yeah, I'm not really sure how they're used. I guess, but yeah, that's the only name that I know that they've been called is spy baits. Um, I've been looking at a couple on Tackle Warehouse. Yeah, never thrown one. Yeah, neither have I. Neither have I. But I don't know. They look like a cool idea. I'm just not really sure if they go deep or if they're just for top water. I don't know, but they look pretty cool. Look pretty neat. Yeah, I've just been definitely looking for new ways to fish. Winter smallmouth kind of deal in my area. I've got to find some deeper holes. That's for sure. Been possibly throwing around the idea of getting a deeper ball so I can maybe cast out there and see where spots are where it's a little bit deeper and whatnot. Other than that, maybe a John boat here in the near future. I'd like to pick up like a 16-foot John boat and a trailer and just build it to my liking. But I have just a lot of kind of small lakes around me and would like to fish a lot of those in a John boat. Be easy, I think, and fun. But yeah, went up to Coeur d'Alene a couple times. I've got some footage from up there with my buddy Joey, but not really much to put together for an edit. Haven't caught much, just a lot of different spot to different spot, and just not a lot of catching. Definitely feel like we need a boat for up there. I feel like there'd be a lot more hookups and a lot more places to find fish in our own little areas. I guess you would say in a boat, but we can't really get around much other than that. Just fishing off docks. It's not much fun, but we'll get there. Definitely for sure. I think that's gonna do it, guys. I think that's pretty much the update for what's been going on. I don't think there's much more. Gonna try to get some more G heads coming here soon. Probably some more Ned rig jigs. Seem to be working pretty great, and I definitely like the action of those super fry worms. They seem to be pretty cool. They got like caterpillar kind of action, and then you can slim them. You can slim them down pretty small too, if you're not getting bites by the big guys. But I've honestly caught same size fish. I think they're a 4.5-inch worm, and I've caught 4.5-inch bass that still went for a 4.5-inch worm. So don't be too worried about throwing the full thing on there because you'll probably still catch fish. Other than that, the largemouth bite's pretty much completely turned off at Mans. I haven't caught anything out of Mans Lake in quite a while. The water's just so low that the fish have seemed to go out pretty deep, right out to the middle or so. So not catching much out there, unfortunately. Probably not till next year, but definitely could probably still catch fish out at dworshack. Found a couple of spots to get on some fish, so we'll see if we can hook up with some more fish out there. I'm not sure when Spencer wants to go again. I know I'm starting back up with work tomorrow, so I'll be back working, and yeah, we'll see when we can get back out on the water and get some time, hopefully catching fish. But it's definitely cooling off, so might be a while. Um, we're gonna switch gears a little bit and go after working on a car that been kind of one of my dream cars I've been trying to get put together. So hopefully that'll be done here soon. But anyways, we're gonna end this video, guys. I've just been rambling on. So thanks for watching, and that's the little update. What's been going on? Haven't been catching much fish, but we'll get on some, I'm sure, here pretty soon. Just gotta find a spot, and yeah, we'll get after it. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Like always, if you like this video, put a big old thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. See you later, me. But anyways, yeah, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed, and throw a comment or like and all that good stuff down below. And let me know, what kind of baits you guys are throwing for winter smallmouth and what you really like. What seems to work, I guess, really good for your area and whatnot. And maybe even a little bit of, what kind of bait fish you guys have near you, just to give me a good example. All the little bit of information definitely helps out and helps all of us catch fish everywhere. So that's always wonderful and gets a good smile on your face, right? So, anyways, guys, have a great evening, and we will check back with you later this week probably. So, peace out.